Hey guys, okay, hold on. Is that good? Like I said, I'm very new to this. Hey guys, I hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing amazing this morning. A little bit of good news for me. So the reason I had to cut my last video short and just kind of like ranted through, but like left out a lot of important things, but it's okay because I'm gonna do a lot more videos soon. Is I got the job. I had a job interview yesterday and they gave me the job on the spot and I'm just so happy. It's for this thing called Elevate Education. It's a new company. It's only been around for a couple months and it's an Australian company and they're trying it out in the United States for the first time. So basically, I'm going to get paid a good amount of money to give inspirational speeches to middle school and high school kids, which is something I've always wanted to do, and it's crazy. It's amazing and I'm going to like inspire people and just give lectures and like seminars, and I'll do like boring stuff too, like how to be a good note taker and like how to like do good close readings, but I also get to like put a little bit of my personality and really inspire kids to live their light and live their truth. And I always say like the kids, like they're the next generation, they're our future, and it's so important that we cultivate the education in a proper way. And one of my like big long-term goals for humanity is I want to change the school system, because I think we can all agree that school, like, we don't need to know like what the square root of pi over 2 is root 3. Like it's probably even wrong. See, I don't even know it, but like I had to know it and you forget it. But like that's part of what I want to do in this world, is I really want to change the school system, and being a part of this new company, Elevate Education, and being able to talk and give lectures to students is like my first step in that. So I'll keep you guys updated. Stay tuned. But what I wanted to talk about today is strangers, and the reason why is just okay, guys. I love strangers. I love them. They're amazing. Like something I always say is there's nothing strange about strangers. It's just the fact you don't know them yet. It's truly just the fact you don't know them yet. Something you should know about me is when I'm walking around, if I'm in a good mood, I'm just like smiling ear to ear, and people are probably wondering like, what has she been up to, or what is she on? But I'm pretty much just high on life, because life is amazing and there's just so much energy everywhere that you can energize with. It's amazing. So I was like waiting to have dinner at this club with my friends, and I'm waiting outside in the like this really cool artsy alleyway with like all this art, and there was this cocktail waitress, and she was just like sitting there like just done, like I could tell she just had it, and it was only 11 p.m. and we all know the city, especially New York, never sleeps. So she had a long night ahead of her. And I just started talking to her. We were around the same age, and by the end of the conversation, she had a smile on her face. She was grinning ear to ear, and she told me, she was like, "Wow, like I just feel so energized. Like I was just so tired and not looking forward to going back to work, and now after talking to you, I just feel like rejuvenated." And see, that's the thing. It's like having great conversations with strangers. You can literally re-energize people. You don't even need that cup of coffee or that sugar rush. I mean, it helps, but energy, that's something that we have a limitless amount of, and by just sharing like good thoughts and good feelings with people, you can influence them in a positive way. So she leaves, and then I'm sitting there waiting for my friend. Still, less than a minute later, the cook comes out, like one of the guys from the kitchen. He takes off his apron, he throws it, like he literally like he throws it. He throws the apron like into the street, and he's just like, I'm just like so done. And I looked at him and I'm like, oh, like, yeah, how's your night going so far? And he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, because people, they get a little crazy, and apparently he was just super high stress. But, and then I ended up like having a really great, deep intellectual conversation with him, and he goes back to his work the same way, just feeling energized and rejuvenated. And I mean, I find that so amazing. We have a living library of people around us, and anyone you talk to, anyone you meet, anyone you interact with, you can learn something. I mean, you can meet an architect. You don't even have to read like a certain book about philosophy. You can just talk to someone that's read it and then ask their opinion on it. I mean, literally the possibilities are endless, but we're too worried in our own little worlds to even open up and be open to talking with people. And you don't necessarily even have to be an extrovert to do this. I mean, I myself, I love reading. I can be introverted at times, but just by having a positive mindset and holding space for people, hold space. So what I mean by that is, if you are walking around and you see someone and they're just like not really happy, or they're just frustrated, you don't necessarily even have to have like a conversation or be like, bro, like, come on, smile. Like, just by being there and having good intentions for them, and accounting for their lack of positivity in yourself. I'll have so much to offer in this world, and especially, now that I live in a city like New York, I'm just so much information around me constantly, and it's a lot, but it's amazing. It really is. And I know, like, we each have our own blueprint. We're all meant to evolve our own certain unique way, but another reason I love strangers is because, in the sense, like, we are all interconnected and we do all need each other, and we're a part of something bigger. And by just closing off into your own little world and not focusing on anyone but yourself, you not only are you limiting yourself to the awesome access of the living library of knowledge around you that you can tap into anytime, but you're also losing a part of yourself. Because I always say, the primary reality within, secondary reality without. So your exterior world is really just a reflection of your interior world. So when you're positive and you're a positive person and you're just like vibing and on a certain frequency, then you'll naturally attract people that are similar to you. That's the law of attraction. I'm a big believer in the law of attraction, like attracts like, and I can make a whole other video about that later if you guys want me to. But what was I saying? As far as strangers goes, is you can learn something from anybody. Even if like you're on the subway, for example, and you can't help but notice someone who's really negative, and you don't want that. You don't vibe with that energy. But for some reason, the universe brought that person into your physical reality and you are observing it. And maybe it's because a part of you has some sort of deep-seated problem of negativity within yourself. And I know this just may sound like total like bullshit sometimes, but I've noticed that when I'm more negative in myself, or even unconsciously, if I'm just like not okay with who I am as a person, or I'm just like not as positive, then I find myself around more negative people, even if it's just strangers, even if it's just everyday life, because their energy just unconsciously, you guys just unconsciously like attract each other. Last night I met the cocktail waitress, I met the chef, and then after I just decided to walk home. It was a beautiful evening, and I'm walking home, and then I walk by this guy and we make eye contact, and I smile because I love smiling, and we walk by each other, and then he turns around, and then I turn around, and then he's like, hey, like, what's your name? And then like we go, and then we end up talking, and we end up having a great conversation. And something he told me was, you have a vivid vibe. And when he said that, I was just like, oh my god, because I've been working on my blog for a while. I'm about to launch that very soon. I have all the content and everything. I just gotta like technologicalize it, and like website and all that technology stuff. But it's gonna be called The Vivid Vibe. Like literally, like, I don't know if you can see it right there. The Vivid Vibe. Let me go get that. See? So the fact that this guy just said like, you have a vivid vibe, it was crazy, because that's like what I'm all about. I guess I'll tell you a little bit about I'll go off topic from the stranger thing. If I'll like tell you a little bit about my vision. So I have a vision for like a blog and clothing company called The Vivid Vibe. And how I came up with that is, so the word vivid, it's synonymous with rich, colorful, lively, powerful, authentic. All this is from Google, by the way. I mean, like, not all of this, but that definition. It's legit. I'm not just making it up. Vivid is a really awesome word, guys. Like, we should use it more. Like, I'm gonna repeat it again because it's pretty cool. Rich, colorful, authentic, lively. It's an awesome word. Like, all that captivated into one word. So I didn't make it up. Like, it's actually like a legit amazing word, which you guys should use more. And then vibes, or the energies we give off. And you don't even have to be like spiritual or really like sciencey and into energy like me to really understand that, you know, vibes. Like, you either get good vibes from someone or you get bad vibes. Like, I got good vibes from all the strangers that I've been meeting, especially last night, which inspired me to do this video. But yeah, so vivid vibes. So why shouldn't we live a life that's vivid and full of color and lively and authentic? And it's just all about like being your authentic self. And I have like a vision of putting my artwork on t-shirts and putting like really cool quotes. Like, for example, zoom in, zoom out. That's one of my things I came up with a friend of mine. And it's, you know, some people are just so zoomed into their lives. They think they have all these problems, you know, everyone hates them, or like broken nail, and it's not the best, but I mean, zoom out. Zoom out. Like, look at all the people that are here to love and support you and care for you. Like, you are very loved and supported, even if you don't feel like it. Like, there's always somebody that cares. Zoom out even more. We're literally a lava rock in the sky, floating millions of miles an hour in galaxies and cosmos, and I can literally keep on zooming out. And you know, the universe, it's constantly expanding. It's not stopping. Oh my god, I can make more videos about that later, but literally, it's just zoom in, zoom out. So back to what I was saying is I would like have this on a shirt with like cool artwork, and the shirt would come with a card, and the card would like explain what I just told you, except like on a deeper level, and it would be like written out and all fancy schmancy. And let's say a stranger's like, oh, I like your shirt. Like, what does that mean? And then boom, strikes up like a good, meaningful conversation. And like part of my vision for this clothing company is to just bring strangers together. Because, you know, we all have vibes, we all have energy, but sometimes it's like, what do you even talk about? And so I want to have something that just strikes up like a meaningful conversation just about life or reality or positivity or just anything amazing, because that's what your life should be. It should be amazing, and it is amazing, but it's up to you to decide that. So back to my story about last night, which inspired me to just get up and do this video anyway. I mean, right away anyway. Sorry, I got a little off topic, but back to the story of last night, which inspired me to do this whole video. So I'm talking with this guy, and he's like, you have a really vivid vibe and all that, and we were just like talking about like just life. I love talking about life because life is amazing. Oh, okay. So there was this guy, he just came up to us from out of nowhere, and he's like, what kind of bees make milk? And we're like, he's like, come on, like, what kind of bees make milk? And we're like, I don't know. He's like, boobies, ha 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 ha. And then he was a little drunk, and I was like, and the guy and I just like, you know, we're having a deep conversation, and then this guy just like makes like a joke. And then I, however, completely switched it around because I'm like, I personally, I love bees, and something really interesting, and I told the guys this, is bees actually aren't supposed to fly. Like, scientifically and aerodynamically, their bodies are just too big for their little wings. Like, they shouldn't be able to fly. Like, scientists still don't know how they do it. Yet, they do it. The bees fly. And that's kind of how life is so the bees, they don't think about, like, oh, I shouldn't be able to fly, therefore I can't. They just do it. So it's like, if you have a dream or, like, something you want to do, or travel, for example, like, you can't just say, like, oh, like, that's something I can't do. Like, I can't be extroverted. I can't talk to strangers. You know, I can't give speeches. I can't. Don't worry about you can't. Just believe that you can. Like, don't even think about it. Just do it like it's second nature. The bee doesn't think, like, oh my god, like, my wings are too small. I shouldn't be able to fly. No, it just does it. It just does it. But anyway, so yeah, that totally, like, shifted the conversation. And then we somehow ended up talking about, like, religion, and then, like, this other guy came up, and we were, like, he was contributing to the conversation, And then this guy was like trying to give us an analogy about God, and then he was like, "Hey, if like he like was standing on the sidewalk, and he like, you know, the lines, like the cracks in the sidewalk, he's like, okay, if I'm here and like imagine like that crack is like, I don't know, like Hawaii, and I'm gonna jump from here to Hawaii." And then I was like where is this all coming from? Like out of all the places he chose, he started talking about Hawaii. And oh my gosh. I mean, basically, long story short, I'm not going to go into detail about everything we talked about, but it's strangers are brought to you for a reason. It's like a part of them like unconsciously knows that you're meant to interact with each other. Like why were these people talking about Hawaii and bees and all these things that like I'm really interested in, like just out of nowhere? You know, it's meant to be. Like everyone you meet is either a blessing or a lesson, and just learning to be okay with that and just take it as is and just don't judge and be along for the ride. Like that's life, and it's amazing. There's something I want to tell you guys, and it's you are invaluable. And you know that. You know you are invaluable, yet a lot of people we undermine our value. And that's why it's so important to connect with strangers, because not only are you learning and growing and accessing the living library, but you're adding value to yourself because you're getting attention from other people, and in turn you can like grow and share ideas together. And there's a huge transformation taking place. Whether you want to participate in it or not, that's completely up to you. But if things are to change, then you know we have to come together, and by sharing ideas with strangers, it's great because it's not like about, oh, who were you in the past, like what was your like job or how do you make money. No, it's like just sharing a conversation in the moment based on the energy that feels right at that time. And I know that might not make sense, but it doesn't have to, because the best things don't make sense, because sense is a mind thing, and the true good stuff, that raw energy, it's within you. And just stop judging people, just be more open, trust yourself, trust others. There are a lot of good people in this world, and if you just open up and smile more and be you, be in a vibration of connectedness, and everyone and everything you draw to you will bring you amazing opportunity and knowledge. Want to know one of my favorite phrases? Symphony of consciousness. That's basically how I see the world every time I step outside of my room here in New York. There's just so many people. It's a living library of a symphony of consciousness. You can access any information at any time, and everyone is just different parts of ourselves, just incarnated in different human bodies. So to really just get to learn to know people, and just even just share a smile or just a good energy, just project that energy of who you are, and it's a beautiful way to make a difference in a seemingly small way. I invite you all to share, live your truth, contribute to the symphony of consciousness, access the living library, and smile at a stranger, talk to a stranger, and don't let your mind be a part of it. Just go for it. If you guys want me to do a video on a specific topic, trust me, I have many. I mean, like I said, I love quantum mechanics and the universe, and I can go into chakras and energy and auras and law of manifestation, literally anything. I mean, I have lots of topics. It's just like what I want to do first. Or I'm just gonna continue to just like come to my computer every day and just see what comes to me. I'll just let it flow. But if you guys have any suggestions, I would love to hear from you. And I'm really excited to see where this goes. So have a vivid life, carry that vivid vibe, and roll.